So, as I said, this is an introductory class to medicinal grade essential oils. And it's, as this slide says here, what we're talking about is natural solutions for healthy, empowered living. Okay, so in my own experience, I've been working with these medicinal grade essential oils for about 5 years now, since about March 2015. And my own experience is that the vast majority of people are not interested in health in any way, shape, or form. That's been my experience on the road, and it's also backed up by data as well. Most people only care about health when something drastic happens, like they get a stroke or a heart attack, or even a mental breakdown or something like that. That's when most people get interested in health. So it's very much interventionist. It's something that's kind of shunted to the background. People will very much prioritize health way down their list of priorities. Most people, about 80%. And I was one of those people as well, definitely, like before I got into the oils about 5 years ago. So what the oils are all about, it's more proactive health. It's more looking at your health proactively. So if the theory being, if you look after yourself in here and now and take steps to look after yourself in here and now and be proactive about it, then not only will you have less chance of having serious health difficulties down the line, but you'll also feel better in the here and now. You'll live a much more fuller life. You'll be happier. You'll be able to, as I said, lead a more fulfilled life, and you'll be able to, be the best version of yourself in here and now. So that's really what this is all about. So getting straight into it. So three cool things about essential oils to start off with. Number one, they're safe. So medicinal grade essential oils, because of their purity, are 100% natural and safe. There's no side effects and no addictions. They're extracts from plants with amazing health benefits. And they're certified pure therapeutic grade. They're pure and potent. Okay, so certified pure therapeutic grade is doTERRA's mark of it's the way they grade their oils. In order to get to that grade, you need the oils have to follow very, very, very strict criteria of purity and potency. And these essential oils are 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbal medicine. Okay, so very, very powerful, very, very potent. The first oil I'm going to talk about is peppermint. So peppermint is one of my favorite oils. Just have some here. So peppermint is very versatile oil. Like all the mint oils, it's very, very energizing. So all oils from the mint family tend to be very energizing. It's very good for mental clarity and focus. Sometimes if I'm trying to concentrate on something, I'll basically put a few drops of peppermint into my hand like this, rub my hands together, and inhale deeply. And that is like a real wake-up call to the brain. It's like taking a very, very strong cup of coffee without the skagginess. It's very, very powerful. So that's very, very, it really wakes up the brain. It also promotes clear breathing. So peppermint's very good for respiratory issues. It's good for cooling the body in hot weather. Not that we get much of that here, but if in a really hot day, if you rub some down the back of your neck and side of your back of your neck and down your spine, it'll cool down your body temperature, and it relieves head tension. So it's good for headaches, and it's also good for digestive issues. So you just rub some on your stomach. Now, peppermint is one of the oils that doTERRA have that is pure enough to ingest. You can drink it. So sometimes I'll just lick a drop just for an energy boost. That can be really powerful as well. So that's peppermint. So the second cool thing about essential oils is that they're effective. So they're more effective than modern approaches to health problems because they tackle the root cause of the problem rather than just looking at the symptoms, okay, rather than symptom management. So, the reason I got into oils myself was I got into them in early 2015, and I was the ultimate skeptic. My wife brought home these oils. I thought they were the biggest load of nonsense ever. I just did not believe in a million years they would have any medicinal benefits. I didn't rate them at all. The only solutions to health, in my opinion, was going to a doctor, getting a prescription, going to a pharmacist, getting the drugs and taking the drugs. And that was it. That was medicine in a nutshell, and there was no other options. That was what I thought about medicine. So when I got introduced to these oils and my wife was saying, oh no, these have medicinal benefits, they can tackle the root cause, I didn't believe her at all. I just thought she was talking nonsense. So, and she was showing me like scientific evidence and research papers from PubMed.org and medical journals proving the efficacy of the oils, and I still didn't believe her. So she said, listen, why don't you just try one of the oils for that health problem you've had for the last 20 years. So I had severe sinus issues whereby my nose was blocked all year round, every day of the year. And I'd have to use a Vicks nasal spray every single day of my life, just to help me sleep and just help me function in a comfortable manner, I suppose. And I was due to an operation I had when I was young, and just one of the side effects of the operation on my nose. So basically, I said, yeah, okay, I'm up for the challenge. Secretly, I wanted to prove her wrong. That's all I wanted to do. Basically, she gave me the oil. The oil was called Air, which is this one. Okay, now Air is one of doTERRA's blends. It's the respiratory blend. You take this for any respiratory issues like asthma or sinus issues or anything respiratory, you take Air for. So I took the Air, and the way I took it was the same way I took the peppermint a while ago. I just put a few drops in my hand, rubbed my hands together, inhaled deeply 10 times, and rubbed the rest into my chest. Okay, rub the residue on my hands into my chest. So it was going in kind of aromatically and topically. And I did this, and she said, the one caveat she said is, you have to do this for a month or it's not going to have any effect. You have to do it for the full month. You have to stay the course because you've got a seriously chronic condition, and it's not going to be an overnight kind of fix, okay? And I said, yeah, sure, no problems. Didn't believe it would work at all. And I tried the Air for the first, I was trying it for, during the first week. And for the first about 3 or 4 days, it was actually getting worse. The sinuses were actually getting worse. I felt more blocked up. And I was completely convinced then that I was going to prove her wrong. So I was kind of secretly delighted. And, but then I noticed, I did stick to course because I promised I would. But then I noticed, like after about 5 or 6 days, I did notice a difference. I noticed a change. I noticed the inflammation or whatever it was lifting. I could just breathe a tiny bit easier, which kind of surprised me. So continued on anyway. And after about 3.5 weeks to a month, for the first time in 20 years, I didn't have to use my Vicks nasal spray at all. And I could breathe completely clearly through my nose for the first time in years. And I was absolutely shocked. Like, that rocked me to my core. That one experience kind of showed me like that, okay, maybe we have other options. I mean, why doesn't everybody know about this? I couldn't believe it. And I haven't had to use that blend since. So that was like 5 years ago. So it completely healed. And I haven't used the Vicks nasal spray since then either. So whatever it did, it basically helped the body heal itself, which is kind of what the oils do. And that was a big moment for me. Brought me from a position of complete skepticism to, a raving fan that this stuff could change the way we look at health in the future. So, that's why it says more effective than modern approaches to health problems, because modern health problems like the Vicks nasal spray, that was just tackling the symptoms. So I take the Vicks nasal spray every day for 20 years. I get relief, and it did provide relief, and I'm very indebted to it because it did really help. And without it, I would have been terrible. But it didn't get to the root cause of the problem. I mean, I still had the problem 20 years later. But when I used the Air, it after using it very, very consistently 4 times a day for a month, it actually got to the root cause of the problem, and it healed it, and I don't have that problem anymore. So that shows, I suppose, how effective they can be. And one of the reasons they're effective is because the essential oils can permeate the cell membrane. So essential oils, medicinal grade essential oils, have the ability to get inside the cell wall. That's why when they say they work at the cellular level, that's what they mean. And that's really, really important, because there's a lot going inside the cell wall. Like, you can see a human cell here, this little diagram in the middle. That's a picture of a human cell, and you can see a threat on the inside of the cell wall and the outside of the cell wall. Now, for compliance reasons, I can't say what those threats are, but you can probably use your imagination. But the essential oil has the ability to combat those threats, basically. On Guard is the next oil I just want to talk about. So On Guard is a blend that doTERRA do. So On Guard is known as the protective blend. The main use of On Guard is to help with strengthen your immune system. So this is the On Guard here. Okay, so it's designed to strengthen your immune system. And so this is very relevant in today's world, because of what's going on. Obviously, everyone knows about the crazy stuff that's happening. So I would take this On Guard every day as one of my healthy habits to keep my immune system strong. And the way I would take it is I literally just lick a drop off like that. You can also add it to water, you can put it into a diffuser. There's numerous ways to take On Guard. On Guard's a blend of oils. It contains oils like clove oil, orange oil, wild orange oil, cinnamon, oils like that, which are very good for strengthening the immune system. And On Guard's very good for soothing sore throat as well, and for cleansing for home and hands. So it's good for using as a sanitizer if you're out and about as well. If you're out shopping, something, I'll usually carry a bottle and I'll just rub it into my hands as I'm out and about, which really, again, protects me. And the third thing about medicinal grade essential oils is they're affordable. So they're more affordable than traditional health medical care. So a bottle like this, which contains about, this bottle here, contains about 280 to 300 drops of oil. And a dose is usually between 1 and 3 drops, depending on what you're using it for. So like that's obviously a lot of doses per bottle, up to 300 doses per bottle, 100 to 300 doses per bottle. And when you calculate the price per dose, it's only pennies per dose, basically. So you can save hundreds of dollars, pounds, sterling, whatever your currency is, euros, a year in medical costs. Okay. Like me and my family haven't gone to the doctor in the last 5 years. The only times my wife has gone to the doctor basically is during her pregnancy, and that was it, her 2 sons. Otherwise, we don't go to the doctor whenever we feel sick or whatever. We just take the oils to help us, and that's it. So they've been invaluable in that way. And the third oil I just want to talk about there is lavender. So most people would have heard of lavender. It's a very famous oil. Lavender is good for 2 things, really. The 2 main things lavender is good for is it's very good for calming the mind, for sleep, for stress, for anxiety. So it just calms your mind down. So like I'm not a great sleeper myself. So whenever I feel restless, I'll just drink 3 or 4 drops of lavender. It usually knocks me out within 20 minutes, half an hour. So it just calms my mind down whenever I feel that restless state. As well as being good for your mind, calming your mind. It's also very good for calming the skin. So very good for things like, burns, bee stings, anything like that, scarring, rashes, anything like that. Just put lavender on neat. It's fantastic for the skin. Very healing and very soothing for the skin. And also it's good as an antihistamine for things like hay fever, especially when combined with lemon and peppermint. When you combine lemon, lavender, and peppermint together, you get a natural antihistamine. So if you get an attack of hay fever or whatever, very, very, very effective. Okay. So there are very quickly 3 cool things about essential oils. Next, I just want to talk about how to use doTERRA essential oils. Okay. So there is 3 ways to use the oils. I'm just going to talk briefly about those now. So the first way using oils is aromatically. So aromatically is most people who have any experience with essential oils would be aware of aromatic usage of essential oils. So aromatic, you would diffuse or inhale to positively affect your mood. So it's good for emotions. I mean, if you get an oil like the doTERRA do a wide range of oils for emotions. So, one of my favorite oils for emotions is actually just plain old wild orange, simple plain old wild orange. It's very good for anxiety and stress, calming down the mind again. And if you just like put a drop into your hand like this, just inhale deep like that. It's fantastic at when you're in, like if you're feeling stressed or anxious or you've got some dark thoughts or whatever, then doing that can really help chase those thoughts away and calm your mind down. It's amazing. So that's wild orange, very good for anxiety and stress, but they also do loads of other specific blends for stress and anxiety. And you can, inhaling them, it acts very quickly on the brain, on the limbic system, etc. So it can really, really positively affect emotions very, very quickly. Also, aromatic use is good for cleansing the air. So if you've got any pathogens or bugs in the air, if you diffuse certain oils like the On Guard oil I was talking about there, or lemon is a good one, or tea tree or melaleuca, very good oils for cleansing the air to get rid of any of those bugs. And very good for supporting your respiratory system, as I explained earlier on, using the air blend for respiratory issues, just inhaling it aromatically from your hands or from a diffuser, very, very effective way of doing it as well. So that's aromatic use. The second way of using doTERRA essential oils is topically. So topically, you can apply to affected area for localized benefits. So you can basically use topically, like if you've got any localized pain. So if you've got sort of lower back pain, or you got a sore shoulder, or you got a little bit of tendonitis, whatever, you can use oils like Deep Blue, which is their blend for deep tissue pain and inflammation, or you can use frankincense, which is my personal favorite oil of all. Frankincense is a superb oil for anything inflammation related. It's probably the #1 oil for inflammation. Just this oil here, fantastic oil. And you can also, you know, you can use for skincare. So the oils are very, very strong on skincare. So, you know, you can use, there's all kinds of different oils that you can use for skincare, whether you want anti-aging, acne, you want psoriasis, dermatitis, any skin condition, you just want to keep your skin glowing. Frankincense is actually one of the best oils to use every day in your skin regime. You just put some in your moisturizer or whatever, and you get all the positive other effects of it, of the frankincense, as well as it being good for your skin. So a lot of people love doing that. So topically is a very good way to use the oils, both for pain, inflammation, skincare, stuff like that. And the third way using the oils is internally. So internally, because these oils are so pure, you can drink these oils, or a lot of the single oils anyway. So internally, I love drinking citrus oils and water. It's actually a very, very healthy thing to do, to apply to your daily habits. So like, the only thing is I'll say is, when you're drinking the oils, never drink out of plastic, because the oils will leach the plastic. Always use either a metal flask or glass. So I have some wild orange here. I love, as I said, drinking the citrus oils. I'm just going to put a few drops of the wild orange into my water, like that. And adds a lovely taste to the water. Very, very healthy. Very good for you. Very good habit to have every day. The effects of drinking citrus oil and water are massive. Like you're talking about clearer skin, more energy, better digestion, less stress. There's loads of benefits from drinking citrus oils and water every day. And I alternate between, sometimes I'll drink grapefruit oil and water, sometimes I'll drink lemon, sometimes I'll drink wild orange, sometimes I'll drink lime. Each citrus oil will have a different effect. They're all very cleansing and detoxing. They'll also have their own individual effects as well. So depending on my mood and what I need it for, I'll use different citrus oils and water. It's very, very healthy. So another way to take internally is in a veggie capsule. So this is a really cool way of taking oils as well. So what is a veggie capsule? So I'm just going to show you here what it is. Pity now you don't have any samples to sample the oils, because really it's the proof is in the actual experience in the oils. But this is a veggie capsule here. So all it is it's like a little capsule like that, that's empty, and you can take it apart like this. So I have two halves, and you just pour the oils into the bigger half, reseal it, and then you can just take it as a capsule. Very, very handy. So now why would you do that? So the reasons you do that is some of the oils don't taste too nice. So, you know, I mean, if you didn't like the taste of certain oils, then putting them into a veggie, but you wanted the medicinal benefits, then putting them into a capsule like that is a really good way of taking them. Some of the oils are incredibly hot. Like some of the oils, like oregano, is extremely hot. Oregano is one of the one of the oils with the strongest medicinal benefits. But also, if you drank it, if you just put the oregano straight into your mouth, it would burn the mouth off you. So, so taking in oregano internally is a superb way to take it. So the way we would do it without burning ourselves is, because it's a very hot oil, is just to put a few drops into a veggie capsule and swallow that way. Some people don't mind the burning sensation, but I mean, it is pretty strong. Veggie capsule is the best way to take it like that. So veggie capsule is very, very good way of taking the oils. And then under your tongue, you can just, certain oils, you can like frankincense or certain oils, you can just put a few drops under your tongue, because there's a lot of blood capillaries under your tongue. You can get straight into the bloodstream. That's a good way of taking the oils as well. So they're the three ways to taking the oils. Now, I just want to show you a few pictures of how the oils might help you, just to give you a bit more concrete evidence of how the oils could maybe help you. So here's a few before and after pictures. In the top left-hand corner, that's my wife on the right-hand side there. And this was taken just as we were using the oils first in 2015. And you can see here, underneath that picture is my wife again with her nephew from the US, and just taken in January. And so this is 5 years later, roughly. You can see her hair is much thicker in the bottom picture than the top picture. Now, I always thought that hair got thinner as you got older. So this is 5 years later now. So my wife, she's a product expert in doTERRA. So she gives talks in the UK and Ireland about product use, and skincare especially is one of her big things. And but one of her favorite products is something called the Root to Tip Hair Serum. So it's basically a serum infused with certain oils to promote healthy hair and hair growth and thicker hair, etc., and healthier hair. So she's been using that consistently over the last 5 years, and you can see that the effects here. Her hair is much thicker in the bottom picture than the top picture after a few years of using that root to tip hair serum. It's made a massive difference, and she doesn't have hair extensions here or anything like that. It's just the hair is much thicker, much healthier, and I've noticed the difference massively myself. So she absolutely loves that product, the Root to Tip Hair Serum. Also, you can see here in the top right-hand corner, that's my wife there, again, about 5 years ago. She started getting adult breakouts of acne in her late 20s, and just out of the blue, and she's really annoyed about it, obviously. And she tried loads of over-the-counter stuff. Nothing worked at all. No satisfaction there at all. So basically then she was just getting the doTERRA, and someone told her, why don't you just put lemon oil, pure lemon oil, directly onto the spots? And she was there, what? That makes no sense. I've never heard of that before. That's crazy. So, but she tried it anyway, and to her astonishment, the spots literally disappeared overnight. So she couldn't believe it. It was her first big experience with the oils. And so she couldn't believe this. And so then she looked a bit more into the hormonal, the fact that the spots were caused by a hormonal imbalance during her cycle. So she then, to treat that underlying cause, as well as the lemon oil to treat the superficial cause, she used something called Claricam, which is a blend of oils doTERRA do. It's called a monthly blend for women. It's basically designed to balance female hormones. And she used that for a few weeks, and it was just a topical application. She just applied over her ovaries topically. And, that balanced her hormones, and she hasn't had a breakout since. Okay, so this is skin. When you have a skin problem, usually it's a manifestation of something that's happening inside your body. Okay, so psoriasis, I think, it comes from the gut. This was hormonal. So what we would do with skin problems, if we were treating them with doTERRA, we'd treat the overlying problem, the superficial problem, with something like lemon oil or certain oils to treat the actual superficial problem. And then you'd also at the same time need to treat the underlying problem, which in her case was the hormonal imbalance. So she used the Claricam, the monthly blend for women, and she hasn't had a breakout since. So that just recalibrated her hormones, balanced them, and she hasn't had a breakout since, as I said. So that was really interesting. And then in the bottom right hand corner, you can see someone, this lady here, who's a big scar over her lip, as you can see. She's a prominent doTERRA user, and she basically had skin cancer, and she had an operation on her lip, over her lip there, to help treat skin cancer. And so basically she tried certain oils to help get rid of the scarring over her lip, which you can see here is quite deep. And after just 11 days, you can see the scarring is almost gone. So that's just 11 days treating it with certain oils, like helichrysum is one oil I know you use for scarring. Salubel is another oil. So just various oils to help with the scarring, and in just 11 days it's almost gone. So they can work quite quickly on the skin, as you can see. And finally, I just want to show you this lady here. So she basically had rosacea, which is a notoriously stubborn and difficult skin issue to treat and get rid of. So you can see on the left hand side there, you can see her rosacea there. And then she tried certain oils, and after 1.5 months of using the Virao skincare collection and certain essential oils, you can see here the problem's almost gone on the right hand side, which is a good result, because rosacea is, as I said, a very, very stubborn kind of skin condition. So there's just some examples of how the oils can work on things like skin and hair, which are kind of much easier to show on before and after pictures than certain illnesses and stuff, but it gives you an idea and a flavor anyway of what the oils can do. Okay, so now I just want to talk about some of my own personal favorite things about the oils. Now on the left hand side there, this is probably my favorite way of using the oils of all. Okay, so now this really highlights why education is so important. These oils are like, there's a lot to this stuff. Like you need to know what you're doing with these oils, definitely. You know, that's why like in our, like what we do, we put education front and center. You know, when someone starts using the oils, we kind of give them free education, free consultation how to use them, for as long as they want, as long as they need to, because it's absolutely crucial. You could not go in and just off the street and buy these oils and know how to use them. And there's a lot to them. But you know, I mean, and just giving you a flavor of that, like on the left hand side here, if you combine these following oils: frankincense, I don't use the lemon in the blend I make up, but that's optional. Frankincense, On Guard, oregano, and melaleuca. If you combine those oils together, put 2 or 3 drops of each into an empty veggie capsule and take it 3 times a day, you've got what they call the flume. Now, again, for compliance reasons, I can't say what that is. Now, just a note on compliance. This has nothing got to do with doTERRA. Anyone that works in the natural health field under European directives have to be very careful about how we talk about what our products or whatever. You know, so I can't mention diseases much or anything like this, or what something can cure or heal. I can't mention any of that. And it's not just to do with essential oils, it's right across the natural health industry, and it's a European-wide directive. But what I would say is this use of the oils, combining these oils together, have saved me and my family countless doctor trips over the last 5 years. That's all I can say. And if you want, so it's basically just combining frankincense, On Guard, oregano, and melaleuca together, put it into an empty veggie capsule, and you can make up this solution. And it really has been a lifesaver for us. That's why it's definitely one of my favorite ways of using the oils. If you are curious, just Google doTERRA Flume. That's FLOOM after this after this class, and you'll see exactly what it is. But I can't actually say it on this webinar. And then on the right hand side, we've got something called the Symphony of the Cells. So the Symphony of Cells is a very advanced use of the oils. And we give trainings in how to do this, but this is really incredible as well. So the Symphony of Cells would be, it's 19 different protocols. Each protocol is mapped to a different body system. It covers almost every ailment you could think of. And it's basically, you know, what I've been talking about so far is just regular ailments, regular stuff people get from day to day or whatever. So which would cover 80 to 90% of people's health issues, okay? But on the right-hand side there, this is kind of hardcore use of the oils. This is when you can't get solutions for your health problems and you've nowhere to turn. We would, if someone came to us and said, listen, I've tried this and this and this, what should I do? Then we would always go through Symphony of the Cells as the kind of the absolute, to up the ante of what they're doing, okay? So, and what it is, you know, there's a different protocol for each body system. So you'd have one protocol for the cardio system, which will treat all heart disease and all heart problems. Then you'd have another one for the respiratory system, which will treat respiratory problems. Then you'd have another one for the limbic system. Then you'll have another one for, you know, the whatever, you know. So it's each protocol is linked to a different body system and all the ailments associated with it. And it's basically a massage application. So it's basically you just rub whatever oils is in the protocol. It's usually 9 or 10 oils combined into your back and feet, and that's it. And you can learn it in 5 minutes. But this is amazing for people with serious chronic conditions. So they're my 2 favorite uses because this kind of covers everything. I would definitely be lost without these. So now, I've talked a lot now about an introduction to the oils. I'm just going to talk about now, you know, if you want to, if you're curious and you're wondering, well, yeah, this sounds great and everything, how do I get the oils into my home? I'll just go over that quickly now. So basically, when everyone starts with the oils, they always buy one of the kits. That's basically how most people will start. So the 2 most popular kits, they do a number of kits, is the Home Essentials kit and the Family Essentials kit. So basically just going over them, the Home Essentials kit contains the following 10 oils. So you've got lavender, lemon, peppermint, air, Zenjust, On Guard, oregano, melaleuca, frankincense, and deep blue. So it just contains those 10 oils and diffuser, and that would basically cover everything you need, okay? You know, if you are interested in starting with the oils, now you can also buy the oils individually, it depends, but you'll really kind of want to know, you know, the people who get the most of their oils are people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired, want to actually heal, or want to actually change the trajectory of their lives, want to kind of take their health and wellness seriously, want to adapt a different kind of way of living, a different lifestyle. They're the people who will get the most out of the oils, I find, okay? You know, if you're starting, if this is your first kind of exposure to medicinal grade essential oils, because like essential oils, you know, it's very much a wide spectrum. Like, I mean, not oils are all the same. Like if you go into a pharmacy and you see like oils for $6.99, you know, they're very, very, very synthetic oils. They're not going to have much medicinal benefit. You know, you probably won't be able to ingest them because they'll be toxic. So, you know, you've got to be careful in, you know, not oils are all oils are created equally. Like if I'm telling you here to ingest essential oils, I'm not talking about the essential oils you get in the pharmacy or somewhere like that, which are probably only for topical use and maybe for aromatic use and maybe for topical use. I'm not talking about those kind of oils. They're synthetic oils. The only oils you can ingest are absolute 100% pure that have gone through rigorous testing. So for instance, I'll just show you the transparency of this. Every single bottle of doTERRA, of a bottle of doTERRA oil. Now you might be able to see this or not. There's a number there that's just over my finger. It's very, very small, which that's a unique batch number that's on every single bottle of oil. And you can put that batch number into a site on the internet called source2u.com and get back the test results. So you can be absolutely 100% positive that what you are consuming is pure and there's no contaminants and no fillers in them. Because no, I mean, if you get a random bottle in your pharmacy or whatever, it's likely that's not going to be tested to anywhere near the same rigorous as a bottle of this. You certainly won't be able to trace it and get the test results back. I'll assure you that. So you know, this not oils are created equally, and therefore they're not going to have the same effect. So that's something very important. Now, if this is your first exposure to this kind of grade of oil, then and you want to kind of find out more, and you're wondering, well, how could I use them? Could my life benefit from them? What I'm doing at the moment is I'm doing an oil study. So basically, this is for people that want to find out more, that haven't had much experience with the oils. What it is basically, you can sign up to an oil study, which is basically whereby you'll be given free samples of oils in a particular area. So the 4 areas are sleep, stress and mood, pain and inflammation, and digestion. They're the 4 areas. So if you've got an issue in any of those 4 areas and you want to see, can these oils help you in those 4 areas, then what we'll do is I'm going to sign the first 10 people up to the oil study. So it's pretty exclusive. There's going to be about 200 people on it all together, but I'm going to sign up 10 myself, and I'll put them forward to the oil study. And how it works is you'll give me your details, and you'll fill in a survey seeing how you are now. So you'll answer a few basic, like if you pick the stress survey, stress kind of, you want to sample the stress oils, then you'll fill in a survey saying, it'll ask you things like what kind of stress do you suffer? Is it anxiety? Is it depression? Is it this? Is it that? How many times a week do you suffer from it? How long has this been going on? So it gives us an example of where you are now. And then we give you a sample of 3 different kinds of oils that you'll use over a week, which will be the middle of August. And you'll join a Facebook group whereby, you will see videos, you'll be getting mentoring, you'll have loads of interaction. You'll be told exactly how to use them. Or you'll be doing challenges, competitions, all that kind of stuff. So that goes on for a week. So you'll be using the oils during that week, and then you'll fill in another survey after the week showing how you benefited, how you got on, if you got on, or if you benefited. But basically, after the week, like we ran our first one last month in July, it was really successful. Something like, I think 90% of people had positive experiences with the oils. There's about 150 people on it. And, that is probably the best way if you are interested in looking into a little bit more about how you can actually benefit from the oil. So if you're interested in that, what I would like you to do is just send me your email address and phone number and name, and I can then join you to the oil study, send you out the survey. You can fill in the survey, And then we will be having a webinar on, I think it's about July the 30th and July the 31st, whereby I'll go over how to do the oil study. And then if you're still interested, we'll send you out the samples and then you'll participate in the oil study. So if that's something you're interested in, please, you can basically just private message me in the chat, or I can just give you my email address here, and you can just send me an email message, and you can just say, yeah, I'd be interested in doing this. I think that's basically the best way of doing it, you know. Okay, so that's Julie Guest, right? I got Julie here. Okay, cool. No, yeah. So basically, I think that's if you are interested in finding out more about the oils, how they can benefit you, I think that's the best way of doing it. Especially if you're totally new to all this, because you'll be able to see without any expense if this will work for you or not. So I think that's what we've been kind of finding. People have been finding the most benefit from so far. Okay, so I'm going to open up for questions now. I know there was a lot to take in there, guys. I'll just see if anyone has any questions. Okay. Now, so I just unmuted everyone there. So if anyone has any questions.
Hi, Kieran. It's Julie here.
Hi. Hey, Julia.
Thanks so much for giving me the insight into that. It's very interesting. I actually attended a yoga teacher training in Bali last year, where we had a little workshop around the doTERRA oils as well. And I just noticed I want to get more into that topic. So I was wondering what would be the best way to get in touch. Like, are you offering something, or would it be the best way to contact doTERRA? Or
I think, Julia, the best thing to do is just go on the oil study, because so pick one of the 4 areas we're having, like, and just try them for yourself and see if you can really benefit from them in your life. Because there's no point in progressing and getting really into it if you don't think you're going to benefit from it. The best way to see if you can benefit from it is joining the oil study, you know, going through that, picking one of the areas. So the 4 areas are, as I said, stress, sleep, digestion, and what is it now? What did I say? Stress is the first one. Pain and inflammation is the fourth one. So that's stress, sleep, digestion, and pain and inflammation. Pick one of those 4 areas. If you've got an issue with any of those, if you've got pains and aches, if you've got lower back pain, if you can't sleep, if you suffer from stress and anxiety, or if you've got digestive issues, pick one of those 4 areas. We'll send you out the relevant samples that can help treat that in that area. And then after the 7 days, we're finding people are really knowing if they're going to benefit from this, if it's a fit for them. And overwhelmingly, actually, 90% of people who participated in the last one had a really positive experience. So that's the best way, I think, of going ahead with it, you know.
Okay, perfect. Like, I have to say, I don't suffer myself a lot from in any of these areas, I believe. I mean, I have some spots on my back.
Yeah. So
which area would that be? Pain and inflammation, or?
Well, if there is, you know, like what we do in our team, Julia, the way we approach it is we work by sampling people, by giving people samples of the oils to try, because the experience is absolutely everything. You know, because, you know, without really experiencing them, like with me, like when I started getting into them, my wife was trying to persuade me that this and that, and she was showing me scientific papers and medical research evidence and all. So I wasn't believing a word of it, but it was only after personal experience of it, that's what convinced me that these actually work. So it's the personal experience. You can't argue with personal experience. You can argue with medical research, you can say it's biased, you can argue with science, you can argue with anything you want, but you can't argue with personal experience. That's what I find. So what we do is, if someone says, yeah, I'm interested in this, what we do is we send them out a sample, or we get them to join the oil study. And then the oil study is going to be more, it's going to be more full on and more interactive. So, but if you have something outside of the 4 areas of the oil study, then we can just sample you separately outside the oil study. So if you've got something, if you want to look at the oils for skincare or something like that, then we could sample you in that way, and you know, that's no problems as well, you know. So you know what you can do is, after this, you can contact me, give me a bit more specifics on why you could use the oils. I'll send you what samples I think are relevant to you. You can use them and see how you get on. That's the way we do it anyway, you know.
Sounds great. Like, also what you were telling in the beginning about your issues with your sinuses and stuff, like, it reminded me so much of my dad. Like, he's suffering from that for ages. It'd be so nice to have something to help him with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you know, the oil that I really found for me was doTERRA are famous for their blends. They obviously do single oils like lemon oil and lavender and all this, but they're famous for their blends. So one of the blend I used is called Air. So it's this one here.
Yeah.
This is known as the respiratory blend. So this treats any respiratory issues. So after you try your one, he can try the Air after if he wants. We can do something like that as well. I could send him out a little sample of Air when I'm sending something to you. So if you just remind me of that as well, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So no problems, Julia. You messaged your details into the chat box already, yeah.
Yeah, I messaged my
Right.
DJ, so feel free to call me or anything. Thanks so much for that, Kieran. Really enjoyed it.
No worries, Julia. No worries. I'll get in contact with you after about that, so and I can send you on a sample. Cool.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool. No problems. No problems. Okay. So, anyone else got any other questions? Now, Simone said, "What's your email for the study, please?" Okay. So I'll just message my details. Now, I just put so our email is, I'm going to write it down here, is info@theoilermovement.com. Okay. So it's right there, yeah. So that's our email address there. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Now, so that's our email address there, guys. If you want to contact me, and my number. And now, if you are interested in August oil study, I would say get on it pretty quickly because I've only got 10 spots. So now the reason I'm only having 10 spots is because there's a lot of follow-up and a lot of interaction with the person. And if I had any more than 10 people, I just would not be able to follow up with everyone adequately. So I'm only picking 10 people for the oil study. So for August 1. So I would say if you're interested, definitely let me know in the next 2-3 days because it's going to be closing, the amount of spots is going to be closing about the 28th, I would say, of July, because our first meeting, our webinar is going to be on the 30th, 31st, where I'll be going over how to do it, what you need to do, and then figuring out what samples you need. So if you're interested, text me and maybe email me as well. Now I got Audrey's details there as well. So Audrey, you're interested as well. So I'll be contacting you, Audrey. Julia, I'll be contacting you about outside the study, obviously. So no problems there. And yes, I am. Northern Ireland's no problems. Yeah, absolutely no problems. No problems. Actually, some people on our team are actually, they're doing as far afield as Canada. People are because it's all online, so there's no borders, there's no problems there. So Northern Ireland is absolutely fine. So so yeah, basically that's it, guys. I think the oil study or sampling is definitely the best next step, because I do believe if you're kind of new to this or you just don't know that much about it, I think the personal experience is very, very important to see if it's a fit for you. I don't want to be kind of, recommending oils to people and they might just get the benefit of it. So that's a big thing, definitely. Okay. I don't know. Does anyone else have any other questions, or? I just see now. Does anyone in the chat box there? Someone's left their number there. Thanks a million. Okay, well that's fantastic, guys. Lovely talk to you today. Anyway, I'll be in contact with you all after this. Probably not today now, but probably Monday. And I'll send you out, anyone that wants to do the oil study, I'll send you out these different the survey. And whichever survey you pick, whichever kind of track you want to go down, and we can just take it from there. Okay, now, so the next steps, guys, is, as I said, for anyone who wants to join the oil study, I'll send you a link to the survey. You just click on the link, it'll open up the survey in a web browser. You just fill in the few questions, press send, that'll get sent directly to me. And then I'll know then which track you want to go down. Only pick one of the surveys. I'll send you the 4 different ones: one for sleep, one for digestion, one for pain, inflammation, one for stress. Just pick one, and then from there, I'll give you instructions from there on what to do, and you can join the oil study, and that'd be great. Okay, so great stuff, guys. Thanks a million. Talk to you all soon. Oh, it's a good question. Would you mind sending me the surveys in it? Yeah, of course I will, Julie. I'll send everyone the surveys on this call. Absolutely. Cool. Bye now.